Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. Slightly later than scheduled, people. But what does Madame Matisse say? Lateness is greatness, is rarely not. But we are here in the building. Large up Matisse every single time as well. That saying is fire. But like I said, the Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs show. So please keep all your questions, Manchester United, Chelsea or Tottenham Hotspur related, please, people. Make sure you bump up the likes on the video as well, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back. Bump up the likes on the video. Please share this across all of the socials as well. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. Obviously, you lot know the regulars. We have Surfer representing Chelsea. Peter can't make it on for the show. Obviously, we have Jez representing Tottenham Hotspur as well. But we got, I would say a special guest actually. Someone who has been a regular on the channel, but special guest on this show. Someone who you lot, you know what I'm saying, who you lot do ask for quite a bit. And it's always great getting this person's takes on Tottenham Hotspur. So I'll welcome Eleanor into the building. What are you saying, Eleanor? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All bless, all bless. It's all good. Jez will be with us shortly. I'm not sure where Surf is at, people, but he'll be here shortly. But like I said, get your questions in. Good to have you on, Eleanor, as always, as well.
No problem. I know. I need things to get like this Tottenham stress off my chest. I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah,
care
yeah.
of
We gonna get to it because as always, people, there's a lot going on with Tottenham Hotspur, a lot going on at Manchester United, and a lot going on with Chelsea as well. Jez is also in the building. Yes, Jez, what are you telling me, fam? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I hope everyone is good as well. I hope the chat is good as well.
Yeah, man. Large up the chat. I see you lot as well. Big up to Adam MUFC who says big up flawless. Anyone know if Rashford traveled with the squad? I'm unsure, but I'm sure somebody in the chat will let us know. If Rashford did travel with the squad. I do know that he was training though. Big up to Abdul, big up Warrior J, Paul, and yeah, large up Time to Shine as well. Yeah, and I'm sure Timo will make an appearance at some time soon. He will be here, Time to Shine. But Eleanor, you mentioned it there. Spurs stress because there's a lot going on with Spurs. That's why I put in the title. Sale of Manchester United still ongoing. Spurs are still looking for a DOF and looking for a manager. And Joao Felix, will he stay at Chelsea? But yeah, we'll go to you, Eleanor. Where do you want to start with the Spurs madness? Wherever.
it. I more wanted to like rant at Chelsea fans because of Poch.
Okay. Yeah, you can go there. Go. Yeah, the floor's
I want
yours.
to up before I start that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
um, I think with us, it's most importantly, where's our manager? Like our manager was supposed to be Poch or Nagelsmann. They were the two, and we've just let him go to Chelsea, which is a joke. And
Mm-hmm.
Nagelsmann we didn't approach, or in other words, he turned us down, or we're just trying to save some PR. But yeah, we're a joke. We're actually a joke. What I said back from the beginning was we need to strip back to basics, do the Pochettino model, get a manager in that wants to be here long term, and build the team up, regardless of your Jose Conte opinions. I don't anything in the chat about Jose making another final, by the way. So just FYI before, because I'm not going to have a Jose. um, Overall, those opinions, it was never going to work at Tottenham under the model we have. The reason why
Yeah,
Poch
true.
in the model, our model is not going to change. I know everyone's sitting there saying you should rant the owners. Me ranting on my own lonesome is not going to get them out. I don't have 3 billion to give these people to buy the club. So I'm going to say they're not going. No one's sitting here making bids. It's very different for United. It's been an ongoing thing with the Glazers, right?
Facts.
It's up and down with the owners.
Before you carry on, Eleanor, yo, Jez, is Eleanor breaking up for you too? Or is it just me?
No, I heard fine.
Is it fine? All right, it's on my end now. Go carry on, Eleanor. Because sorry, I didn't know if you was breaking up for me or not at times. Big up Surfer in the cut as well. But yeah,
Um,
go on, carry on. If it's fine for you, like then it's my end. Yeah, go on, carry on, Eleanor, carry on.
yeah, I think when you look at like the model that we do have, the reason why Jose and Conte didn't work is because they work checkbooks. What we need is a non-checkbook manager, which I'm not saying isn't that, but I think he's the best project manager that there is out there right now.
First,
And I
first, first.
think we would have gotten. obviously now we have this Enrique.
I think she's cutting out for me now too.
Yeah. All right, I knew it wasn't just me. Just lift up your phone, Eleanor. It might be that. Just lift it up.
That
I knew.
better?
See, you lot got me thinking I'm going crazy. I knew it was in my end. I'm here going nuts. You know what I'm saying? Before you continue, though, Eleanor. Yes, sir. What are you telling me, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm very good, man. I'm good. I'm just going into the weekend, you know. That's cool.
Yeah, calm. Same. Go on, carry on, Eleanor. But good to have you here, fam, as always.
I apologize for breaking up, people. I don't have my laptop on me right now, so I'm sorry. I'm using my phone. I kind of jumped on last minute because I called Flawless about another situation. And,
yeah, let's not even talk. Let's not even talk about that. That is just craziness. We'll go on, carry on.
But yeah, I ended up on here, so yeah, bit of a shocker. But I always will take the therapy, as I said. But yeah, I think the fact that we are allowing Poch to go to Chelsea. I mean, while I say allowing, I mean he said he would come back. He was waiting. I mean, there was a podcast done recently with some ex-players, and they all said that Poch was actually waiting for Levy to call him, and he never did. Right. So that's what I mean by allowing. I do believe if we called him, he would be at Tottenham rather than going to Chelsea. I genuinely believe that. But I don't know. I just think the best managers have gone now. I would like to hear Jez's take on Slot and Enrique, because I don't know much about Slot, to be fair. I know more about Enrique than I do Slot, so I am open to people's opinions. But yeah, that's basically where I stand. I will give my Poch rant to Surfer at some point today.
Go on, Jez. Your thoughts on Enrique, who you've now? That's a great point. Spurs have now been heavily linked with. And did you say Slot? Who's he manage again? Is he the Feyenoord manager? All these managers' names is tough for me to remember. But yeah, go on, carry on. Go on, Jez.
What was the question again? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
She said your opinions on the two managers that you've been linked with.
Basically, Slot and Enrique. What's your opinion?
I don't want Enrique.
Okay, can you tell me more about Slot?
That's hella emphatic, man. Why?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as clued up as others on Slot. Like, I've read up and whatever, but people are very much like into this project, and I'm just very disheartened since the Nagelsmann and Poch situation. So I am open to hearing more about him.
I mean, obviously, before anyone says how can you not rate Enrique, Now, I rate the manager in terms of Enrique, but I think he wants players who fit the system to a T, and the type of player that he like. I'm just not too sure. And the last time when I saw him managing a club, he had probably one of the greatest front threes of all time, which was MSN. I don't know if he can come to Spurs and work with Kulusevski, Kane, and Son as well. But that's for another day. Slot, obviously, Feyenoord manager. I think he's been coaching now for like the last 4 years now. Has started AS Alkmaar, who were struggling before he came in and was able to kind of make him competitive before he left for our final. Then obviously to final, his first season, he took that team to the conference final, which he lost to Jose to. Then half of that team left that same season, had to rebuild, had to go and get certain guys from the academy, integrated them, and then obviously won the league this year. Obviously, he plays a 4-2-3-1, very, very aggressive in terms of pressing, very upfront, like front-footed. So he's definitely a manager that fits the attacking type of style of managers that obviously the board would prefer, which I would prefer either. And his system also requires a lot of technicality across the whole pitch, which also for me is very encouraging, because I feel like our team at this point in time, really and truly, there's only really maybe 4 or 5 players I keep. The rest can all really go, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. The only thing I say is it's not going to be done in one season.
One season, yeah, I agree.
Long term, because our problems are not. We're not just going to get rid of the squad and buy 11. Like, we know this.
I know. So
that's why I say, like, let's stray away from how good we're going to be next season, because what I always say is we're going to be shit. We're going to be shit for a while, but we need to look.
I agree. I came obviously on here before. See, for me, what it is with Slot is that I think it's a manager that you can look at long term. I think the only issue is that people have brought up his issues with being able to block. People have brought up his issues of not being able to unlock a low block. And my thing about it is here, when you have players that I think in attacking talent that you come to Spurs, I feel like you would have the better players that are around. The issue is, yeah, I mean, but even if a slot comes, but we had the issue with unlocking deep blocks already. But the issue now that we have is this I have been hating for years is that we can't even get to the final third unless it's in transition. Even let's say a team doesn't press us, we still struggle to progress to even get to the final third just because our players are all across the pitch are so technically incapable of doing stuff. So for me, I feel like he forces everybody to it forces the guy. I think it exposes his system exposes a lot of our players, which make them forced to leave because, for example, a Joes or a Conte, where certain players like again Dyer can stay in the club because he can somewhat defend at times when he has a purple patch. Sanchez can when he has a purple patch can defend. No, these guys Højbjerg likes to run around. Skip likes to run around, but if you get guys like Enrique or Slot in, it's not good enough if you can just run around or you just have legs or whatever and you can just play in a deep block and deep block. You have to be able to express yourself on the ball as well, which a lot of our players can't do. So I feel like it kind of makes sense why we get linked to Slot, and it kind of makes sense to get Enrique. Even obviously we've been linked to Amarin as well from Sport Lisbon. I think it's I have no issues with all these three managers, even the Celtics manager, who hasn't been even yet today. But I don't have an issue with him either, to be honest.
First, because here Ad says Slot is a quintessential Dutch coach, flexible tactics, wants to press and attack, sometimes goes crazy with ultra attack, but genuinely wants to outscore opponents.
Football, so I'll take ultra attack.
I was gonna say that because literally Spurs fans have gone from footballing terrorists to footballing terrorists to footballing terrorists. You lot were definitely 110%, just like an attacking manager. So I get it. If that is the case, I see why Spurs fans would be over the moon about that. This is a good question though from LSC for the double. Says, what's your expectations for Tottenham next season? Honestly, for me, it's just to stay in the top 6. Yeah, we'll go to you, Eleanor. Like, what's your expectations? Because I know it's tough to answer because you don't have a director of football and you don't have a manager. So you're not going to really have an idea, but yeah, expectations.
The expectations are hard to say right now. It all depends on who the manager is. But let's just say it is Slot, for example. Mm-hmm. That gives me more long-term promise. So as long as I see good football, not saying we'll see the points, but as long as I see positive football with a progression and a target. So, for example, future targets was to, qualify for Champions League again regularly, looking to compete in time. I'm not sitting here saying that's next season, but if I can see promise, I will do the Arsenal model and just stick by him. Because you've got to remember, like Arsenal previously played City football without the City players, and they used to get hammered, but at least they were playing decently under Arteta. They were never like boring, right? Like realistically. So I can see why they stuck by him. As long as I can see some promise with our football, I will happily stick by it. I just want to see good football for a season, some future promise, something to like about this team, because I don't like anything right now. If I can just like the players, like you got to remember, like Poch's first season, I think we finished 5th. I want to say 5th, and we got into the League Cup final. But it wasn't just the positions alone. You like talking like that takes context away from how we were actually doing. The way we were playing, the feeling around the club, the things he was building. That's what I want to get to. I'm not saying you can replicate the exact same situation, but I want to get to a point where I can see something's brewing, regardless if it's 2 seasons away, 3 seasons away. I can just see some sort of promise, a long-term plan, which under Poch I could see from the minute he came, really. I could see that this is going to be a promising situation. So I think we just have to expect not much in terms of position-wise, but more in terms of what they're actually giving me on the pitch.
Oh, that makes sense. 110%. Before we go to you with the same question, just big up to everyone that's tapped in. Over 50 of you lot in the building. So big up, but let's bump up the likes. We're already at 19 likes. So like check 1212. Let's get up to 30 likes, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new as well. We're still looking for 3 new subscribers. We're at 6,462. Only 3 new subs, people. 3 new subscribers. That's all we're looking for. Hit the subscribe button. What are you saying, Jez? What are you looking for next season?
I'm pretty much what Elena said. I think he should try to kind of, let's say it this way, he should try to stick to his principles unless it gets very bad with the players he has. Obviously, transfer window will be very important in that, seeing if he can actually get players in for his system first and foremost. I want his signings to be able to come in, and I want to see actually a fact, unlike ours this season. That I want to all these signings should be all contributing for us this season. In terms of league position, I mean, fighting for Europa League, Conference League, I wouldn't mind, to be honest. Like, I don't expect for him
Conference
League.
I don't want Conference League. Tell you now.
I mean, I know you don't want. But I said I don't.
It's something you lot could win.
No, I don't.
It is something you lot could win, though.
Okay.
I don't know. See, for me, I don't know. For me personally, I don't know why a lot of Spurs fans don't want. Obviously, but I mean, you can.
What was that? What do you say? I don't know.
Think back to that stream with Peter
I hear
where
that
we are
about it.
and why that will be beneficial to me.
But that'd be great. Like, say, like it was, I don't know, a top 6 finish and a Conference League spot. That's a good season.
I wouldn't say so. All of a sudden, are you going to take them seriously because they won a Conference League?
It's a great start. It could be a start of something. It depends on what kick on.
It all depends on the manager, right? If we're looking promising and we win that, and then we look like we're actually playing good football and firing on all fronts, and we won the competition that we're in, that's very different. If we luckily win it and we've got a manager that's clearly not here long term, it all depends on context, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm like context saying it because any manager who is of any form of level, so if they're managing Spurs, if they're managing Chelsea, Manchester United, if you're in the Conference League, you should win that. With the players you lot have available, you should win it because you're the best team in the competition.
Yeah.
You just see West Ham get to a final. You lot are bad.
Listen, this is my issue. Like, I don't understand how we can say no to a competition, but I see West Ham making the final. I'll be honest, like I watched the Conference League when we were in. Still, like to this day, I believe we should have made it further. In my opinion, I look at these opposition. Like Marseille was in the quarters. We bumped them in the Champions League group stages the season after.
Well, we got kicked out of that because we had COVID.
Yeah, and this is my issue. That's why I was upset when we went out of the.
I knew we got.
For me, I don't know. I don't know how we can reject like being in the competition when we haven't really achieved anything in 15 years.
It matters. Like I've always said, context matters, and I've said it at the time with Conte. We didn't know where we all looked promising, which I agree with. At the time, it was different. Whereas now, it's like if we won it and we're still shit, that Conference League is going to give me nothing. It all matters.
Again, for me, it depends on transfers. Like I need to see who comes in.
It all depends on context, how we're playing during that time, how we're playing, what we're looking like we're going to achieve. If we look like we're going to finish 9th, but we've won a Conference League, that's not useful to me. Right. But if we're like looking like we're playing good football, we've won the Conference League, we're just winning things that we're in, competitions we're in, and it could push on to make us go further. I agree with you. It just matters.
I agree. It depends. Like I'll be honest. Whoever comes in, I don't really expect us to be. See, I expect us. I'm expecting the manager to have shown me some sort of signs that gives me promising into the next season. But I struggle to kind of expect him to actually play good football. Like for me, I expect him. Let's say the new 3 teams that are going to come up. I'm expecting to, with the team that we have, to at least don't look like completely incompetent. Like, and I need you to show I need to show that you're learning throughout the season because this is going to be a new country that he coached in. He never coached outside from Holland, so I feel he's going to make mistakes in the first season. But I want to see just something in terms of just understanding that it's a new league. Maybe you have to adjust your sides tactics to some degree because I know because watching his side final side, they play extremely narrow, and like somebody mentioned already, very super attacking, which means on the counter attack, a lot of time his team gets caught in the counter attack. How do you really adjust these type of issues that rely minimize these type of things? But
Sanchez,
yeah, I agree overall with the point of it's just there needs to be signs for me, and then hopefully me finishing between me, I'm fine finishing between 5th and 7th, even maybe 8th. But then it depends again if I see the signs at least. Because again, the team is horrible. This team is very horrible.
No, but Jez, that's what I mean. It depends on the signs. If I'm seeing some sort of signs where there's some sort of promise, regardless of the finish exactly, I've always said that. I just need to see some sort of signs that it's looking towards a future, not a near future, a future. Yeah. And that's all I need to see. Whereas when I say yes, like, for example, one of the comments was, you know, even if you finish badly, you're qualifying for Europa, that's progress. Again, context matters. What progress on the pitch as well. I don't want to luckily win a Conference League, be in the Europa, and we're still basically shit. Like, I want to see progress on the pitch as a whole, regardless if we're not getting the results. I want to see together some sort of promise and some form of tactical ability, because I'm sorry, the last 3 managers we've had at Tottenham haven't had much tactical ability.
Oh, that makes sense. 100%.
And we don't look like we have any tactical ability, which obviously they are professional footballers, so I can see more than what they're showing me. Yeah. So I just need a manager to try and get the best out of them, or try and get them playing together. And then, yes, the Conference League gives us promise, it gives us hope, it pushes us on. It just depends on when you're winning these things, which I've always said. But anyway.
Well, that makes sense. 100%. Surfer, we'll go to you, though, on the same for but Chelsea. Next season, what are you looking at? Because obviously now you've got your manager in, but you know who your manager is going to be. A lot of players. There will be incomings into your squad. There 110% will be outgoings with your squad, like without doubt. What are you telling me?
I find it funny that Poch was announced as manager of the World 11 in the charity game before we announced him. So
oh, what the what?
I really hope messing you
about. Soccer Aid.
Soccer Aid.
Is it a Soccer Aid thing?
Yeah, they announced him. They announced it before we announced it. So
I pray every day that he's gonna fuck you over. Literally every day I wake up, and that's my prayer.
Okay.
Single day. I don't think you understand for my mental health.
No, we get it. You ain't gotta explain to us. We know you well enough. We understand. I understand your hatred towards Chelsea. I respect it. That's how it's supposed to be. They the ups. Fuck him over there, especially because it's Surfer. Yeah, F you up your Surfer.
And the one that said, "Oh, you know, it's a bigger rivalry between Chelsea and Tottenham rather than Arsenal," and then he's gonna fucking stand there while they sing "We Hate Tottenham" and he's their manager.
No. Yeah, facts. That's why you can't. That's why you can't get emotionally attached to these managers and players, man.
He's Chelsea. He's Chelsea. You know, honestly, I actually cannot. And then I've got Chelsea fans telling me I don't want him. He's a loser. I'm like, are you actually done? Are you actually like? I get too angry. I'm too emotionally invested.
Oh, get off your chest. What is it about that gets you so emotionally invested? We'll go back to you, Surfer. But this is good. Yeah, go on. I want to hear this.
Okay, right. In terms of Poch, right? Poch, regardless, I understand that we sacked him. As in, I didn't personally sack him. I backed him this whole 3-4 years.
You did.
Okay. But Levy sacked him. Okay, fine. He's been waiting for us to call him, get him back, blah, blah. We haven't done it. Cool, that's fine. But you don't sit there as you know what the fans feel towards you. I don't think he should go. He shouldn't take that job. We are supposed to be the future goal for him. I want to come back and finish what I started. That's what he said on BT Sport and all of this shit, right? But then he's going to go to the team that he personally said is a bigger rivalry between Tottenham and Chelsea than it is Arsenal and Tottenham. He physically said that, and he's actually had the cheek to go there. Well, everyone will sit there and say to me, you know, you can't blame him. I don't blame him, but I do at the same time, because it's like there are other jobs. There are other jobs that would have come about. I'm pretty sure that
so you do blame him.
Called him at some point very soon.
Yeah, yes, I got that too. We're going to carry on, Eleanor.
I do think that Madrid will would have called him at some point. He would have got the job. He doesn't need to take the Chelsea job. Taking the Chelsea, he's going to come back to the lane as a Chelsea manager. I have to sit in that stadium and see him as a Chelsea manager. No, that's too far. I am sorry. This man has filled my hopes and dreams for Tottenham since 2019 when he left. I have begged for this guy to come back. And many other fans have. He's disrespected the fans that loved him for all this time. And I understand people are going to say to me, but you didn't, like, your board didn't call him. I'm not the board. I'm a fan that he should respect.
Seth, I know you're thinking the same shit. I'm thinking, go on, carry on. I think we're on the same page here. I think I see. Yeah, like he should. Like this is what football is like. That's why you don't fall for, like, get emotionally attacked, and it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because they bring greatness to your club. But go on, carry on.
He's the one talking on BT telling us that it's home.
That's on him. That's where you need to. That's where you need to, like, because
I'm saying he sits and he adds fuel to the fire. He sits there and saying that, you know, he loves us and it's his home and he wants to finish what he started and he will always see his Tottenham as his home and blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't even say this, but whatever. I had Jesus Perez followed me on Twitter, right, which is his next hand man, right? His right hand man. He still follows my main account. I feel like signing in and being like, what the fuck? But anyway, he said to me, I've actually got the screenshots, I've got the DMs, so I can show you lot. He said to me, we will be home one day. Home. And now he's going to the bridge.
Yeah, he's coming home as a Chelsea manager.
I think he meant London.
Yeah, he's in London though.
No, he said to me he will be here
be here. And that's like with managers and players, like, you can never, as much as like it's annoying and you get emotionally attached, like, understand that they will, not all of them, but the vast majority of managers or players will play for the rivals if the opportunity is right, whether that's the opportunity in terms of the team or the money.
There's money talks, blah blah. You sacked him.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go to Chelsea when you know how most Tottenham fans feel about you, and the fact that he sits there and calls it his home and stuff. That's where he fucks up. That's where he messes up. And he actually does do that. That's the thing. There's plenty of quotes out there where he says, we will be back at Tottenham, where we will be finishing what we started. You know, Tottenham will always be our home.
That talk is not the one.
Then he's gone to Chelsea. So I'm very rightly angry.
Yeah. I understand that. Because of what he said, I get why you are reacting in the manner in which you are. I mean, like I said, this is managers for you.
I thought he loved us.
And Eleanor, man, this is where you learn, man. You understand these managers ain't loyal. Like, that's what it is.
But
the surface stop smiling. You know I'm right.
Levels of Kane going to Chelsea. I would never think Kane would do it.
But the thing is, all right, so let's go there. Let's say hypothetically, this is hypothetical. Let's say Kane stays. No. Let's say Kane stays at Spurs. Let me land. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, the plane got wheels. This is gonna be a smooth landing. Let's say Kane hypothetically stays at Spurs, doesn't sign a new deal. He's out of contract in 2024. Chelsea is one of his top priorities to go in terms of best options. I'll take Manchester United out of it. Manchester United and Chelsea, for what he wants to do, are probably his two best options.
Do that though. Regardless, that's too far. That's too far. Realistically, it is too far. As a player like that, to be a goal scorer, all of that, you know how the fans feel about you. That's a disrespect. That's too far. To go to Chelsea, you quote fucking Todd Bowley 250 million for Kane because you ain't fucking getting him. I'll tell you that for certain. And he probably will pay it, the idiot. But anyway, he's going to go to United, which I can't have anything to say. Like, I will be upset, but I don't have any leg to stand on. Going to Chelsea or Arsenal is something I can moan about.
That being said, though, like I said, I actually genuinely think, like, even in the hypothetical, I said he stays and then he's available on a free not this summer coming up, the next summer. Chelsea would be a viable option for him. No, I think he would go.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it, but I'm here to tell you the uncomfortable truth. No, I could see him going to Chelsea.
No, if he wants any respect in this league, you do not go to Chelsea after being our highest goal scorer. You do not do that. That's too far.
Kane, the thing is, Kane gets so much stick. You know how I know Kane would do it and doesn't care because he gets so much stick because he stayed at Spurs. And say again?
He gets stick from you lot rather than Tottenham fans.
Yeah, and that's my point I'm making. He gets stick from us lot. I've been critical of Kane. I personally don't worry about my club, but that's a whole different conversation. Even though he is a world class, he's world class. Don't get me mistaken, but it's more from a profile perspective. But like I stated, if he's available on the free, Chelsea are a viable option. And I could see it happening. Just brace yourself.
You know what shows ambition to win? Turning up in big games.
That too. And that's also one of my, and I'm glad you said it, because when I say it as a United fan, I get hate.
No, I will criticize.
You're honest, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will criticize Kane. I'm not oblivious to it, but what I won't have is him saying if he goes to Chelsea, that's too far. Let's
go to the Chelsea representative on the panel. Let's talk about this hypothetically. Let's say, like I stated, Surfer, Kane stays at Spurs for another year. He's then available on a free. 2 questions. 1, would you take him at Chelsea? And number 2, could you see it possibly happening?
Would I take Kane at Chelsea?
On a free?
Of course I would.
You found that never has a bloody striker, and you had to think about it.
Well, it's sort of being... I am on the right channel. I was sort of being sarcastic. Yeah, of course I'll take him.
Okay. Do you think he would do it?
Apart from Man City,
he's not have no loyalty there.
Yeah. Do you think he would do it?
His loyalty now, even Tottenham fans might admit this, his only loyalty is breaking the Shearer record. It's the only loyalty he has. That's all it is.
Has a loyalty to Tottenham.
And well, I think he's willing to move, just not abroad.
That's fine, but don't Chelsea, like I said.
The short bus journey to Stamford Bridge. So doesn't have to worry about that. It's all good. No, I take him. I don't think they're going to sell him this summer. I think they're going to try and keep him and try and persuade him to sign a new contract. But yeah, I would definitely take him. The only team in the league that wouldn't take him is Man City.
True.
Because of Haaland. It's the only team. Every other 19 teams would take him without a shadow of a doubt. And if you are a supporter of one of those teams and you say no, you're a goddamn liar. Okay? You're a goddamn liar.
Flawless, you're lying. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know. Hey, Eleanor, don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah,
watch this guy, right?
Don't do that shit.
Watch this guy.
Don't do that. Wait. Before you carry on, we just not letting that slide. You don't do a me to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? No, he's calling you a liar. Yeah, I'm fully aware he was calling him. So thank you for clarifying that, you joker. Go on, carry on, Surfer. You know
watch this guy, right? He goes. I wouldn't take Kane, stuff like that. If Kane was at Man United, Flawless stupid smile will be even bigger than it usually is. Yeah, he'll be banging in the goals. Yeah, you won't hear anything about Flawless going, "Oh, I didn't want him." Like he won't say it. Others will bring it up. He'll go, "It doesn't matter now. He's scoring goals for United. It don't matter."
Here's the thing that I said though, because I've stated this when I speak about Kane is world class. If he was at Manchester United, does he get goals and assists? Absolutely. Does he make the team's players around him better? Yes. Does he make us a better squad, a better first 11? Absolutely. But I have my doubts because I've not seen you be the difference maker. And when I say that, people, I've never seen him be the difference maker at Spurs. And coming to Manchester United, that whole thing, and I feel for Spurs because every time they lose, it's him. He doesn't get the majority of the blame. It's the players ain't good enough.
Well,
the manager's not good enough. It's in the DNA of the club. All this type of stuff. Whereas if Victor, jump on as well. Whereas if Spurs, let's say hypothetically, he stays at Spurs and they win the Europa League next season, just like he's getting the majority of the praise. This is why United should have spent money on him. Blah blah blah. But when they fail, he doesn't get the majority of the praise. So does he come? I need him to be a difference maker at United.
This is what because. And this is something Yannicka actually said ages ago, and I'll never forget it. She said, you can play good and still lose as a team. And there are times where in our big moments, we've played bad and lost, but he's also played bad and never got told it. And this is what annoys me. Everyone likes to think, let's get this tough small violin out for Kane that's never won anything. You're part of the reason why we haven't won anything.
Talk about it.
Let's stop talking like Kane is totally oblivious to any criticism. No, you don't step up when we've needed you as well.
Yep.
You've had the title. You've had at least one title race. I would say 2, but I don't want to upset anyone. So I will say at least one title race. You've had 2 finals. Whatever this Poch name. Okay, I saw it, and I'm not reacting.
Good.
You've had 2 finals to play in countless semi-finals, and you have also been 3 finals. You have also been shit. You have also been the reason why we've lost. let's stop making out Kane is, he needs to win something. He's part of the reason why we ain't won something as well. And I don't deny that he will go to United and easily win something, or go to City and easily win something. I'm not denying these facts. What I am denying, though, is the fact that he can be blamed too. At City, at a United or whatever, he'll have it easier. Of course he would, because he'll have better players around him. But I still don't think it's fair to say he's not part of the reason why you're to blame, why we haven't won anything. Because if you say that player, you are a player. You are part of that.
Yeah, and that's the biggest complaint and worry I have about Harry Kane is that. So
said something earlier in a chat that I'm in, and this is calling out Jez now. He said, if he went to Madrid and won a UCL, it'd be beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I don't give a fuck what he wins once he leaves. I swear to God, I don't care. I don't care. Beautiful to watch a player that fumbled in our Champions League final, biggest game of his boyhood club's ever history. He played awful, begged to play that game. Pochettino gets all the sticks when he begged to play that game, and it will be beautiful to see him win it with Madrid. I'm sorry, no, it won't. I'll be pissed off, if anything.
For me, that's your opinion. That's fair enough. But for me, I think it's beautiful if he goes and win it there, especially that I like Real Madrid as a club as well. So I like the player, I like the club. I think it's beautiful. So yeah.
Before we continue, Jez, as well, before the second element, just quick before you go. Still over 80 of you lot in the building. Big up, but let's bump up the likes. Only at 39 likes. Get us up to 60 likes, people. Hit the like button because you're clearly enjoying the content. Hit the like button on the video. Continue to share it across the socials. Subscribe if you are indeed new, and continue to get your questions in. Just keep it Manchester United, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur related. And of course, if you super chat, I'll get straight to your comment, your question as well. Yeah, go on, Eleanor. Go on.
His boyhood club isn't Arsenal. He was just scouted by them as a kid. His whole family are Spurs fans, by the way.
His whole family Spurs. Okay.
Let you know.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Kane is the difference between Chelsea and Spurs this season. What more difference do you need? Win trophies. Then I say difference maker. That's what I'm talking about. None of this. If you're at Manchester United Football Club and you are coming in for, let's say it's big. Let's say it's a free or big money. You're coming in with the reputation of Harry Kane. Yeah. I'm not hearing that. The manager's not good enough. The players around you are not good enough. Nah. If you're that good, elevate. I'm not hearing none of this. You better elevate, because if Harry Kane comes to Manchester United, let's say it is this season, you are now our best attacker. Best player, probably no, because I think Casemiro, but you're our best attacker. So it's on your shoulders then. And let him come to Manchester United, and Manchester United win something next season. Who's getting the majority of the praise? Harry Kane. This is why United should have signed him earlier. And he would deserve them plaudits. Don't get it mistaken, people. I'm all for giving people their flowers. However, if we fail, I'm not hearing that Bruno's not good enough, and Anthony's not good enough, and Rashford's not developed, and Casemiro's too old, and it's Shaw. Nah, none of that. If you costing 80, 90, 100 million and you're world class, I'm going to hold you to world class standards. Simple as that. Yeah, like that's legit. So when I say he's a difference maker, I'm one of the few people who actually hold him to world class standards at Spurs.
And I get shit for it.
Yeah, because people like him, he's the media darling. That's why.
I believe he's world class, right? I'm a Tottenham fan. I genuinely believe he's world class. So when you play shit, I'm gonna hold you to world class standards. Yeah. And when you play shit on a consistent basis in big games and big moments, I am still going to hold you to those world class standards. Right. Because to me, you're a £150 million player. So I will hold you to that £150 million price tag.
And to Adam MUFC says, don't you think if he comes to United who have better players than Tottenham, he can be the difference? All right, I killed his dead because people keep looking at Spurs now. Look at some of the Spurs sides he's been a part of in the past. Mm-hmm. They are better currently right now than how Manchester United are constructed, and he's failed with them. When they was in that league title race, he's in a better side. They lost the league title to Leicester. People forget this. He was in that side was a very, very good. That was a very good Spurs side as well. Say again.
The time when Chelsea won it, we were closer. Like we were better than we were in that Leicester year.
So I'm not hearing this. Like even in this season, who did you not go out to in the domestic cups? Was it Forest and Sheffield United?
Yes.
I'm not, and he played in both those games. I'm not hearing that you're the best player on the pitch. When they went out to AC Milan, take Leao out of it, you're the best player on the pitch. Deliver. I'm not even sure if Leao played in both games. I can't remember 110%, but deliver. I'm not
He
hearing this.
played both, but
So Leao played. Okay.
in my opinion, Kane
Okay.
was
Yeah,
the
you
best
know
player
what?
on
I
the
go
field.
one further on that than just people will tell you that Kane's better than Leao. All right, you're the only world-class player over 180 minutes.
No,
Do the
I
business.
actually this is what I actually said. Now Leo was on the pitch, but my opinion that Kane was the best player on the pitch. Like I don't think
people will
Leo
say
was
that.
better than Kane in my
We
opinion.
would get more pushback for saying Leao's. If we all was like here right now and saying Leao is clear of Harry Kane, we'd get pushback. So therefore, let's hold him to higher standards then. And he failed over 180 minutes.
Well, let's hold him to those standards then.
Yes, that's what it is.
I agree.
So Flawless, we won a trophy with Vegas. You don't think we go up levels with Kane? Yes, that's the thing I opened up talk. Every time I talk about Harry Kane, I open up talking about that. I say he's a world-class player. He improves us. Yes, but just because he improves us does not mean he improves us to the level we need to be. And like I've said before, it's a profile thing. Is Harry Kane one of the best strikers in the world? Yes, but I want an athletic striker. I've said this. Bring me pace and power. There's non-athletic, you know what I'm saying, slow strikers. I'm not with it. That's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
I'm just not with it. Like, that's what it is. And people say Harry Kane. So how come he's not delivered at Spurs then? Look, we just watched Joao help Rangers get to a Europa League final last season. What are we doing? EPL turf. I've said this before. Ivan Toney. That's the striker I want. But even if it's not Ivan Toney, go get me that profile. Go get me a Osherman. They don't have to be Osherman, but Osherman's profile. Keep telling me it's an athlete's game. Yes, you need tech. Bring me both. That's why Haaland's so good. Haaland's technically sound, but his pace and power is what pushes him over.
Oh, and massive as well. Like people say Kane's, a big guy, run like his pace is there. Haaland literally debunks that theory. He's massive and quick and got pace and power and precision. Like Haaland's the full package, right? And it's he missed his chance with City, which is quite funny because obviously now they have Haaland, they ain't looking back. But I just feel like when you're looking at both, would I take Haaland over Kane? Yes, in a heartbeat.
Of course. Yeah,
in a heartbeat. But you're telling me he's the best striker in the world, I hear.
No.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? I hear these comparisons holding to those standards because when I look at Haaland, I see a whole different player.
The point. And Takaru says so. Mourinho and Conte are bad managers because they didn't win anything at Spurs. They're not bad managers, but let's say Ten Hag was sacked today. I wouldn't want either of them at my club. I'd kick off.
Listen, you lot went through.
If Mourinho came back or Conte came to my club, I would kick off. I'd be like, we're not doing anything. That's a terrible appointment. So that's where we're at. Like I said, people, you can get a great player who's just not the right fit. I've said this. Harry Kane is the second best striker, I believe, in the league. But just because he's the second best striker doesn't mean he's the best fit for the team. That's why if you put the 11 best players in the league in one team, it wouldn't work. It's a team game. That's what it is. Kane's the second best behind Haaland. He's the second best striker in the league, people. No doubt about it whatsoever. But are you the fit for the team? So I keep talking about fit for the team. It's a team game. I watch Van Nistelrooy, people. I'm old enough. Bad boy striker. Probably the best finisher I've ever seen at Manchester United ever. I think he's got the best goals to game ratio in the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So like all the bad boy strikers we've had, but he didn't fit the team. We sold him, three-peated and won a Champions League. There's a reason for that. That's what it is. It's not all just about goals. It's about the team.
And like where you are, how you are run. When people talk about Jose and Conte, everyone knows I hate Jose, but as much as I hate him, let's just take that out of it. Regardless if you hate him or love him, you've got to look at how it will work at certain clubs. It was never going to work at Tottenham from the get-go. We were never going to give him what he wanted for it to work, regardless if you love him and think he's the GOAT and whatever, and you can go win the Prem again. It would never work at Tottenham because we won't give him that checkbook and that freedom. We need someone that is willing to build a team up over time. So when you take your personal opinions towards these managers out of it, look at it without that look at it with context and look at who you're talking about and what club you're talking about. Because the only way it worked under Poch was because we weren't thinking about a checkbook. We weren't thinking about it. It just happened over time. You build it up. It just happened. And that's why it worked. Whereas the reason why it's not working and under these managers is because we don't work like that. So we're getting the checkbook manager about the checkbook. It made no sense.
No, I hear that. And you lot are missing the point because Kara says, I've watched some Spurs game and Kane's dropping deep in the midfield to help him build up play. This is how shit Spurs are. Give Harry Kane a good midfield and he's cooking. I never said Harry Kane won't cook. Like, he would ball out here. Like, I don't think people realize what I'm saying. Yes, there's no doubting his talent or doubting his ability. I'm
He
not
kind of
saying
destroying
that.
his own point because
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you talked about the Spurs side and the Poch.
Yes,
At that time, Kane
that side
wasn't-
that was better than the
Kane-
Leicester
Kane-
side, but people don't want to talk about it. That he
But,
got beat to a
listen,
league
this is-
title
this
by
is my
Claudio
thing,
Ranieri and Jamie Vardy. People don't want to
Jamie-
talk about it.
It's a false because I think everybody looking at him now, looking at his playmaking ability and stuff, like I'll be honest, guys, like bro, under the side when Kane was just a striker, like a striker that's just there, just goes. Even then we haven't won the trophies. And I'll be honest, that Spurs side, in my opinion, if we have the same side right now, I think we are better than Arsenal, or at least equal to Arsenal.
I agree. I actually agree. And I say this all the time. People come down my throat. But you watch the way we were playing was fucking different. This wasn't a one-hit wonder in a season. We were building up for a very long time, and then we got to that second place and whatever. With Arsenal, they've just found themselves there because everyone else is shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like people kind of misunderstanding what people are saying when they talk about Kane the way they do, especially when I talk about it, because that's why I don't really associate with really people on Twitter and that, because people don't really know my opinions on the way how I think, and they misunderstand it. I think Kane is very quick. If you say it's Spurs, I'm not gonna be here and say no. Me personally, I mean, you guys said that Kane is second best striker. I think personally,
you man in the chat. How's it a pause? She's a female. It can't be a pause, idiots. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say something because it was funny, but it can't be a pause. She a female. You jokers. Carry on, Jess.
Yeah, I was saying, in my opinion, I think Kane is the best striker in the league. But in terms of context, in terms of age and stuff, I would obviously prefer Haaland because more long term, more athletic in order. But it's for this discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But we have to just ignore. I think people looking too much now in the situation that he's back then, that he now, instead of actually focusing when Spurs was actually a good side, and actually we're supposed to do something. And when we were supposed to do something, like winning trophies, he is a part of that team that didn't deliver anything. I agree that the board fell Poch. Yeah, can Poch have done better in certain cup competition? Yeah, but also the players didn't step up, and Kane is a player is a part of the team as well. So everybody takes a blame in this. So
yeah, it is.
I think this why I don't like really people when they're trying to use the team now as excuses on why Kane try to hype in Kane when we've seen Kane in better teams. And we haven't seen him win the trophy.
And Takero says, go on, Jess. I mean, go on, Eleanor. Sorry. Go on.
One of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. We've seen him in one of the best teams in the league at one point because we were finishing up there and challenging for everything. So we have seen him and he still hasn't stepped up. And while I do agree that under that time, if we had won a trophy, probably would have gone on to win more. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that. Because it all, like I said, with these domestic trophies and these smaller trophies, before anyone jumps down my throat, these smaller trophies, I think...
Go on, carry on. I like how you cleaned it up that time. Go on, carry on.
I think that it all matters. It all matters in terms of context as to where you are as a club to win these trophies, to win these domestic trophies. And we were there at the time to win these domestic trophies to then push on to win more. That's a mistake on Poch, mistake on the players, mistake on the board to not push on when we were finishing high. But I can't blame Levy as to being the best team in the league. We were literally one of, if not the best team in the league, and we should have won something. I think we were winning the Prem. We should have definitely won a domestic trophy. Yeah. Winning a domestic trophy then would have pushed us on to win more. While I watch, we can't take Kane to be blameless because if he's such a leader in the dressing room and the best player and, you know, England captain and all of this, he should be able to step up as well, especially in those League Cup finals, all those semi-finals. That semi-final against Chelsea, the 4-2, really, I cried. And the Manchester United one where Dembele was clearly finished. I remember that.
Oh, game. Yeah, when Pogba, brushed him aside off the ball. And to Kerry, who says, I understand if you're saying right now, right now, but you can't say you don't want Kane. He's the best striker in the league after Haaland. Again, you're missing the point. I don't know how much clearer I can make this in terms of you can be super talented, but do you fit what the team has going on? Like, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just because you are the second best player or third best player in the Premier League in your position doesn't mean you fit what's going on. Like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know how much clearer I can make this. Is about the team game. And I'm not hearing, again, excuses all the time for this guy. Brother, Leicester had good players that season, not only Vardy. The Spurs side was better.
You
Look
guys
at
are
the
capping now.
teams,
I keep
the
saying
Spurs side
you
was
guys
better,
are capping. So
and
you
they
guys want to
lost.
tell me? No.
Like,
You guys want to
go
tell
on,
me
Vince.
aside with fucking
Yo,
Drinkwater,
Wes Morgan and Drinkwater. You know what I'm saying?
but Johnny
Yeah,
And
Evans,
Deuce. And
It was a
don't-
Schmeichel wasn't better than Luis at the time.
And
The team was clear. The team was
And
clear.
don't bring up. Oh yeah, but they had Morris and Kante. You jokers never heard of them before they went to Leicester, so don't even
Facts.
say that. Man.
They had Danny,
oh,
and no disrespect, but they had Danny Simpson and
Kante, Morris.
My point
Yeah.
is, if you take Kane out of that side and you put a prime Karim Benzema in that side, Spurs win that league title. If you put a prime Gareth Bale in that side, prime Gareth Bale, not the Gareth Bale we've seen at Spurs, the Gareth Bale I'm talking about we've seen at Madrid.
I think the Gareth Bale at Spurs even do it. My opinion,
yeah, you know what? I stand corrected because at least he managed to get you lot top 4 and stuff like that. So I hear that.
And the team was terrible, like
Yes,
compared to
that's
the
my
teams
point.
that Kane was in.
He was in the better side. So this is when I say difference maker. We watched Benzema last season help at Madrid side in a rebuild, win the Champions League. Difference. If we're calling him world class, let's hold him to world class players, world class standards. Sorry, we're not doing that. This is not what we're doing. No. I'm not, like, it's outrageous. Oh, goddamn outrageous. And just get to this from Broman as well. Now, this is definitely not a family friendly channel. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Let me just
fuck
clear
that.
that up.
This is why
See?
No.
It's definitely not a family friendly channel. It's not. But Broman, I know you're
Especially
in
the
bands
Twitch.
for big up. Oh yeah. The Twitch is even worse. That's like Sarcasm City.
The Twitch channel
TV
makes this
after
channel look PG-13.
it really does. And you lot. So, like I said, people, I will continue to say it. If he's world class, let's hold man to world class standards. If he's the second best striker in the league, I'm holding you to second best striker in the league standards. I'm sorry. If you put Haaland in that Spurs side when they go ahead against Vardy, they win that league title. Insert a world class attacker and put him in that Spurs side, they win. Kane had the better side and fumbled the bag. He was the best team. He was the best player in that side, and they fumbled. I'm not hearing it because if they would have won the league title, guess what the conversation would be? Harry Kane helped Spurs win the Premier League title. What a player. This is why he's worth X amount. But because he lost, we don't want to talk about it. No. And this is why I'm having my doubts. I'm not, because that United, I'm not accepting that. Look what I'm like, and we're talking about Spurs. I'm not having that. No, you better deliver. I've criticized worse players, you know what I'm saying, at Manchester United than Harry Kane for not delivering at certain points. You better deliver. I've crucified players for less. You better, I ain't trying to see him, is what I'm saying. I'm really not. I'm not. Nah. I'm tired of all this dropping off and playing, and I'm gonna drop into the midfield. And we got midfielders for that.
This is the thing that this is why I don't get, like, with the United ones, because I can understand why people want to use being able to drop deep to facilitate other guys. But again, one, you are the striker, and at the end of the day, you're supposed to get the goals. And secondly, we see it in the England side, where he has very good forward, and this whole dropping deep for England doesn't work out either.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, for me, I don't even think he has to. Yeah, can he occasionally drop deep for United if he joins United? Yes, but really and truly, United, he shouldn't be doing that at United in the first place. Me personally, I don't want Kane to be dropping deep. It's just because of how bad we are at the moment in time. But for me, realistically, a team that we have with Harry Kane, we should hope to have the midfield and defend and fullbacks and the wide players to be able to supply him. I don't mind if he does drop deep occasionally, but your priority should be scoring, not facilitating.
Mm-hmm. And to EPL Turf, who says Manchester City what came before Haaland, so you're saying he was not a good fit for them / Pep system, they wouldn't win the league. Name me a Manchester City attacker that's gone there and failed. They have one of the best managers we've ever seen on the planet with one of the best systems we've ever seen on the planet. Who's the last attacker that Pep Guardiola signed that didn't deliver? If I went to my 5-a-side power league near me and took the most talented baller, I think he would do okay in that system. Because that system's our league. Name one. Name a player, please, EPL Turf, or someone in the chat. Name me the last player Pep signed for Manchester City, attacking wise. So striker, a 10, an attacking midfielder, a wide player that hasn't worked out there, that has looked anything below very good or good. Name one. That's so yeah. Would Kane do well there? Yes, but that's insert striker here. Haaland would do well there. Put any striker. Ollie Watkins would score. Now, no disrespect to him, but Ollie Watkins scores goals there. This is Manchester City. They're an elite team with an elite match. Some people are calling the City side the best ever. And it is when it's about to three-peat, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that whatsoever. No, absolutely not. And there's another thing as well. Let's get to this. Adam says, Eriksen the same flawless, then he didn't get Spurs over the line. One, I've never called Eriksen world class. And two, Adam, actually, you're new here. I've spoken in depth, and Surfer and Jez can vouch for me and other regulars. I want to upgrade on Eriksen. I've been saying it pretty much the entire season, and I like Eriksen, but I want an upgrade because he's not good enough for where we want to go. So no, it's not saying the same. Eriksen's never been held in with the same regards as Harry Kane. That being said, he's won trophies. I'm saying he's helped Manchester United win a trophy this season. Did he not win a Serie A too?
He did as good. I think he was a part of this contender team.
Yeah, to get outside. Did they win a Cup of Italia in that time? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he did. They did too, but I don't know if he left by the time. But it was the season when they won it, but he had the heart attack, so he left.
And see, people, what I'm talking about is mental gymnastics to defend Harry Kane, rather than just say, you know what, world class player, but he's failed at Spurs. He should have won a trophy.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like I guess, like I just said, the deflection of trying to play him with anybody else, and this is what I hate. And this is the one thing I kind of like. If he does leave, it's the only thing that can take from the positive is that it's no more a thing where like every time we don't do anything, it's everybody else but him. Even this season in the Champions League, nobody really mentions him not being able to. And I think people do, and I do see year in year out though, like people starting to deep also that he's also part from it. But again, the majority of the, like I said, if he leaves, he leaves. From like, I'll be honest, like, and if he doesn't deliver a trophy elsewhere, just say this: it will be peak for him, because then a lot of people have to apologize to us, or mostly for just blaming it all on us. To be honest.
Man. Mental gymnastics, and Karen says no one wins a trophy at Spurs, bro. The team is cursed. So how come they win a trophy in 2008 then?
Under one day Ramos, which was one of our worst performing managers ever.
How come they win a trophy?
Just above Jose, by the way.
How come this? So this is not what we're doing. Now it's like, deliver. Because like I said, if he would have delivered a trophy for Spurs, whether that's a Premier League, a Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup or League Cup, we're waxing lyrical about it. So the fact that he's failed, I'm not hearing that.
You know what? And that's not even the thing. Unless these guys want to play Gareth Southgate, he had 3 tournaments where England made it deep into competitions. One of the competition was even a final, and didn't really perform in those important games when he went out. So even if you don't even want to include the Tottenham thing, you can go back in the England side. And the England side had the England side next year for the Euros. England's going to be a favorite for that competition.
Like I say, we calling this man world class, and he has no world class team accolades. You calling this man, it's not an individual sport. This ain't boxing. This ain't UFC. This ain't tennis. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I've stated before, I'll ask you, Carol, what's the world class team accolade he's got? World class player and has no world class accolades to back it up. This is all just numbers. Yeah, he's an elite goal scorer. It's not the same as world class. Interesting, bro, man. But like I said, mental gymnastics. Man went head to head in a league title race with Leicester City and lost. Simple as that. But people don't want to discuss. And was in the better team. But people don't want to discuss. You know what I'm saying? You said they don't win anything. Now you're saying 50. Yeah, but they won a trophy. So you can win a trophy. If he's as good as you think he is, he would win a trophy there. I'm not hearing that. He's had ample opportunities to win trophies, and he's failed every time. Failed.
Facts.
Failed every single time.
People need to talk about it more.
People don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's mental everybody else is.
For people as Kane, it's an easy way to kind of like fall back onto, so it doesn't look bad on him. But reality is, like I say this all the time. I think you put Kane on our team. I literally just said it now. But Bale, before you even left, the Bale version before you left, replace him with Kane. I feel like Bale would have won us that league, or he would have delivered us a trophy. Because again, I feel like he's more Kane, and this is the difference as well. Like you have the world class players, then you have the guys that are top class scorers, then you have the guys who just impact players that can go in a league title season. Maybe not the class players, but then can be the clutch players in these moments, certainly. And then you have the guys who are both world class ability, but they also have the clutchness in them. This is what I think King got world class ability. But when I'm watching, not just for us, but also for England, I just don't think he has the clutch ability to go and deliver a team the big trophy. And this is just what it is, to be honest. But it doesn't mean the guy is bad as a footballer.
No,
There's a lot of players who are, there's a lot of footballers that are really good at the sport, but don't have that ability in them to go and deliver and especially when you are in teams that were good enough. Of course, it's just what it is, to be honest. And the big issue with him that I have is that he doesn't perform in these big moments as well, in these both big games as well. Like I can't remember a noticeable performance from him in a big match which lead us to like a final or win us a final. I can't remember. I remember Lucas Moore. I remember Son in recent years stepping it up, turning up. Fuck it, Loretta even came up with more clutch goals in these cup competitions than Lucas.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm asking for just at this point, I'm just asking for a performance. I'm not asking even for you to win me a trophy. Like I'm asking for a performance in these big games because you just fade away. You just you in the league you look like the best player in the world, but even Champions League doesn't really do it for me. Like he doesn't impress in the Champions League. Yes, he can sometimes score a goal, but he doesn't impress. Like you don't look like world class on the pitch. You get maybe a goal, but you don't look world class in the Champions League. So even his knockout goal record isn't that great.
I'm gonna jump off. I got work soon, so
no stress, surfing, man. Victor's in the building anyway, but big up, surfer, every single time, man. Love, I'll catch up with you shortly, yeah? Yes. What are you telling me, Victor? You good?
Big up, Victor.
I'm okay. I'm a little bit on the edge. I'm a little bit tipsy, so if I say anything wrong, I'll just take me off.
Yeah. I will do.
No worries,
What you been sipping on?
Already.
Right. I had an entertaining night, yeah. So I got off, start with the Maggie's.
Okay.
All right. Then we switched to Captain Morgan's.
Okay.
And then we went back to Maggie, and then I had a Disaronno lemonade.
Hey. You out here? Before we continue, over 90 of you lot in the building. Over 90. Let's continue to bump up them likes as well. And to care to one thing. Yeah, Ahmed, I'll shout you. I've literally just messaged. I'm going to send you the link right now, my brother. How are you looking at one player to bring you a trophy? If you're world class, yes. I can expect to deliver you. I can expect you to deliver.
You have the expectation to go and do something.
Yes. Otherwise, why are we calling you world class? This is what I'm saying about mental gymnastics, innit? Because people are saying, "Oh, he delivered at Manchester United. He's been in better Spurs side than this current Manchester United side." Yeah, he's definitely been in better Spurs side. Go look at some of them Spurs sides on the potch and look at Manchester United side right now and see which one is better. It's not even a debate. Why do
you guys think a lot of Spurs fans kind of don't love as Kane as, for example, Eleanor does? Like Eleanor loves, obviously not anymore, but before this whole Chelsea thing, because he didn't deliver at Spurs. Because there's a lot of Spurs fans who hate him for not delivering because they believe that the team was good enough. Yep. No, people don't really believe us to go and win. Nobody really in us, our team believes to go and win the trophy because the team's us. But I'm talking about when the team was actually good enough, and this is why in our fan, this is the weird thing about fan base. You guys are mad at Poch not winning us a trophy, but then you get mad for not when you call out Kane in those seasons as well. Like our fan base does it as well, but it's like you can't talk to him. You can't talk to him. And for some cases, and I know some people will call me crazy for it, or some people will say, it's not that. I'll be honest, if Kane wasn't English, at the same situation, but he wasn't English, a lot of people would call him up for that. No. I just think it is. I think it's the biasness. There's also a lot of biasness, and I understand. The guy has the ability, but then again, and you guys rate him as high as you guys do. Fair enough. And clearly, he doesn't rate himself as high because if he really did, he would have left already. He would have forced the move. Our best players who rated themselves like, yo, I believe in winning the trophies. They all left. Bale left. Modric left. Berber left. Many others left, and they went on to go and win the big trophies later on. Yep. But he was fine. I'm seeing reports saying if Ryan Mason stays the manager for this, Ryan Mason stays the manager for next season, he's fine ending the season. He's fine staying. He's not going to force a move from Ryan Mason. So, what are you expecting to do with Ryan Mason next season? Right. And that's my point with him. Like, that's why I'm saying, guys, I understand you guys trying to defend him, trying to put the blame on every other one other than himself, but it's not. This whole life doesn't work in my opinion. In every life, like Flores, it's like when you work and you mess something up in a team. Somebody messed up in a team project. Let's say it this way, and you're part of that team. Why didn't you tell somebody, yo, you had to just do this or fix up? When you see the problem, you're in the team. You're supposed to see it. It's the same thing. Like you. This is a team sport, and this is my big issue with him. That I like him. For him, it looks like he's there just yo, I'm just here for the record, I'm out. And at this point, it does feel like for me, the statement that the report saying that he would be fine at staying at Spurs for another season if Ryan Mason's the manager, clearly shows that he really cares really more about the record than the trophies right now.
Yeah, facts. But like I said, it's all mental gymnastics. To Adam, who says, question, he scored versus Chelsea, Newcastle City, Liverpool, Arsenal this season, so you think his mentality and cup comps is the reason you don't want him? No, it's not the mentality, and I never question his mentality because I don't know him personally, so I find that tough. People will criticize that, cool. My biggest issue, like I said, with Kane is he has not been a difference maker at all for them. That's the problem in terms of, I'm not even talking the major trophies. I'm not even being deliver me a Premier League or Champions League. I'm saying bring me a Europa League. He's good enough. He's good enough to go on a run. If you're world class to win the second tier European competition, you're good enough to win an FA Cup. You're good enough to help your team win a League Cup. And you've been in these situations. You've played enough. So I'm going to judge you on these things. And it's not like it's 1 or 2 seasons. You've been there however many years. What are we doing? We've seen players with not your talent help their teams win.
This is the point. And those players that you talk about, they were in worse sides than Kane were.
Yep.
Like, this West Ham side is about to go to the Conference League final. Our Spurs fight back then. Watch this team right now. This West Ham team. I'm fuming if you lose this. I'm fuming if you concede to this West Ham team with the team that we had back then. This how good I rate the team back then.
We've watched West Ham. Whoever you think their best player is, let's say it's Rice, help his team get to a Conference League final. Kane can do the same. Kane's a much better player than Rice. We've seen worse sides win Europa Leagues. Look at the 2 sides who are in the Europa League final now. Roma, and you telling me Kane doesn't moonwalk into those teams? If you're the second best player in the league, second best striker in the league, and you're one of the best strikers in Europe, which I do think he is. I put him top 5 in Europe. Let's hold him to those standards then. Everyone in your class has delivered. We've watched Haaland. Haaland has joined. Haaland has joined, and City are on the brink of a treble. It's not just on him, but has he made a major difference? Yes, we've watched Benzema do the same for years. We watched Cristiano Ronaldo do the same for years. We've watched Messi do the same. We've watched Mbappe do the same. So if we're putting him in the bracket with those players, let's hold him to those standards then. Let's do that, but people don't want to. But anyway, you lot continue to get your questions in. Before I continue, the NBA stream has started on the Twitch, people. So if you're here, if you're asking about NBA, obviously I know a lot of you lot in the chat are NBA fans. Boston Celtics, Miami Heat live stream watching on Game 2. That's going down right now on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Already gone live, people. So make sure you download the Twitch app anyway. I can't even remember, did RVP win stuff for Arsenal before joining us? No, he didn't. But here's the difference with Robin Van Persie. He was never fit. Robin, the whole issue and situation with Robin Van Persie was he can't stay fit. Go look at his record at Arsenal. That was my biggest doubts when we signed him. Not his ability. The ability was there. It was the injury record. And the season before we signed him, he stayed fit for Arsenal and he scored a whole heap of goals. And he wasn't held in the regard that Kane is held in right now, Robin Van Persie at that time. No one was talking about Van Persie being top 5, top 3 in Europe. That's what we're saying about Kane behind Haaland, who make Haaland, Benzema. That's probably it. Some people might have him ahead of Benzema, which is crazy, but that's a whole different conversation.
I think this season, in terms of how the way Benzema's been there, I can understand it, but I mean, you get the one. He is top 3.
Yeah.
He's in the conversation. Whenever you're gonna think he's the best, whether you think he's 1, 2, or 3, doesn't really matter. He's in the top 3.
Yeah.
And if you're top 3 best striker in the world, and he's been consistently top 5 in the world for all the years, even when Ronaldo was still at his peak. Cristiano, I mean, Tomba, he was still top 5 in that era, in that time. And you couldn't win me at least a Carabao Cup, bro. Like, just
I'm just asking for Carabao Cup. So I'm asking for Carabao Cup. That's it. Nothing major. I'm asking for what Rashford has helped my team deliver. What Weghorst has helped us deliver. Rashford, like someone said, Rashford has had more. He's been our guy this season in terms of offensively. He's been our go-to guy, and Rashford is nowhere near the level of Harry Kane. But he's delivered in a team that's not good. But again, like I said, man lost the league title to Leicester City, but people don't like talking about it. Oh, Leicester had good players and everyone. No, you was in the better team.
And even that, and people, you guys have to stop the cup. If you would go into, you guys have to stop the cup as well. Like, if you must say you would love to have that Leicester team right now, but obviously everybody at that age and time, you want to swap your teams right now for that Leicester team. You guys are cupping.
Facts.
You guys are cupping, bro.
Facts.
I'm taking that Arsenal team over that Leicester team. I'm taking the Liverpool team at the time over that Leicester team. Leicester massively overachieved in that season to win that trophy. You guys saw the odds. Look at the odds, even beginning of the season, to win that trophy in the first place. Like, they had 3 players that went on to be Vardy not world class, but he was kind of like a world class run. Mahrez, you could have said maybe he was he maybe world class? I don't know. But you have Kante, who
they became world class during that season.
Exactly.
But yeah.
And
Spurs had the best team, Cara. They had a better side than Leicester.
You guys have to stop counting, bro.
They had a better side than Leicester.
Unless you guys want to pull the team up now.
They had a better side than Leicester, man. Like, let's stop.
Come on, guys. Like, you guys have to stop counting, bro.
But again, just mental. Rather than just say, yeah, like he failed. He's a world class player, but he failed that season.
At some point, Alderweireld and Jan were literally rated as the best centre backs across the world.
Mm-hmm.
Across the world, and we're talking about an era when Ramos was actually still in his prime, with Varane in the defense, and we talking about them two being one of the. You could rival these two centre at Real Madrid, but you want to tell me a centre back pairing with Johnny Evans and Wesley Morgan was it?
Nah, that was Hoof and Morgan.
Yeah,
with Fuchs and with Fuchs and Danny Simpson.
Danny Simpson, bro.
Hoops,
this season,
Danny Drinkwater and who played
Kante
left?
midfield.
Was it the Kante? Who was the guy who played left?
Albrighton.
And was it Owazaki? Is his name?
Owazaki, yeah.
Owazaki, striker. He's a striker.
With Vardy, you know what I'm saying? How come Vardy's helped Leicester win a FA Cup as well?
Literally, and even that team, that won the FA Cup, when that Leicester team, in my opinion, that won the FA Cup was better than that Leicester team that won the FA Cup, in my opinion, was better than the Leicester side.
Because Mahrez and Kante left at that point.
They left already.
Oh yeah, because they beat Chelsea.
It was just recently they won against Chelsea, but that Leicester team,
Jorginho, man.
For me, the team overall that won the FA Cup was better than the Leicester team that won the league.
I didn't notice. James was overweight for that FA Cup.
Yeah, but that Leicester team that won the league had 3 individuals. The team that won the FA Cup was the better team overall.
Wait, because that was Ndidi. Maddison played that team.
Maddison Ndidi,
Vardy.
Tillemans, Vardy was still there. Harvey Barnes.
Iheanacho
the defense. Johnny Evans was in the defense with Amati.
And Fofana.
Okay, I flipped that though, Jez. Is that Leicester side that won the FA Cup better than some of them Spurs sides at that point?
No, still not. And this is how highly I rated. And this how highly I rate.
What we doing, people?
Side. That's what we doing. That's why you guys have to understand why there's a lot of Spurs fans that didn't even want to push to come back because that he couldn't deliver anything with that team. You guys have to understand how much hate he actually gets in our family. Elna is one of the fans that really loves him, but a lot of people hate him because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, to be fair, it is what it is.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
you lot
it's-
continue.
it's- it's-
You lot continue. Still over 80 of you lot in the building. Continue to bump up the likes. We're
Sorry.
up over 50 likes. So big up. Let's get up to 70 likes, people. Let's get up to 70 likes. Please continue to share this across the socials and subscribe to the channel as well if you are indeed new. Because I know there's new people. We hit the subscriber mark. Hey, salute to you lot, man. Salute to you lot. We're currently at 6,465. We're now looking for 6,475 new subscribers. We're going to close out in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. Get your questions in. I know this has been the hot topic is the Harry Kane situation. But again, if you got any other questions on Spurs, absolutely fine to people in the
Chelsea
chat.
or Man United.
Anything Chelsea related, anything Manchester United related, like Jez just said, that's absolutely fine as well. But yeah, Mohamed, hella protected. I've never seen so much mental gymnastics for a world-class player. Never. All of this, because let him, like I said, let Spurs win the Europa League next season. Then he's delivered, blah, blah, blah. So how come he's not done it before? But when he fails, which he will fail, you know what I'm saying? If he does stay at Spurs, which I think he will, it's everybody else's fault. It's the new manager. They didn't have a DOF. Son's not past it. They've got Dyer. They've got Sanchez and Black. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying, bro?
I'm good. Like, wow. This Kane stuff, man.
Yeah,
it's just uncomfortable truth for a lot of
it's
people.
uncomfortable conversations, and the reason why I'm talking about it like so much in depth, because there's a realistic possibility that he could be at Manchester United. So now I'm looking at it even further. Like, okay, let me look at I probably wouldn't be talking about it like this because I'm not invested. But the fact he could be at my club, I'm invested.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted Kane heavily. 2 seasons ago? After we won the Champions League. But now, what was the question you asked? Would you take him next summer? 2024.
I'll still take him.
I mean, I would. I'm not going to say no. But realistically, my preference would not be Kane.
Yeah. The reason why I'm like looking at it and going, I don't want him, bless I don't know. I don't want him back. I don't want him in 2024 because that means we haven't done the business and signed an actual what's it called? Signed an actual striker this summer, which we need. You know what I'm saying? We need more than one. So it is. And yeah, bro, man, we all know about Sterling's performances in the Euros, but people will tell you he's trash. But we watched him deliver under a terrorist manager, you know what I'm saying, in the Euros and helped England reach he was England's best player by a country mile.
100%.
By a country mile he was. But people will tell you he's trash, can't control the football, all this nonsense. Let Kane have done that.
Oh, bro. I meant because
we still on there?
Yeah. We've been going back and forth with the chats, man. You know
funny enough, the funny thing is here, once Kane stepped up in the semis,
just retire. Do you leave?
Nah,
yeah, the chat's been going.
I thought he was like, fuck this.
No, but we got 2 Chelsea representatives and that. Now, if he was saying fuck this, he would have said
the best ones.
Yeah, the funny thing is,
Hi, Prime.
The best ones.
Hello.
Yeah, we're Brian. What I was saying is,
Shut up, Jazz. Yeah.
I can hear you. Go on, carry on, Jazz. We'll just ignore
the funny thing is here, once Kane stepped up, I guess with a penalty goal after he missed the penalty, by the way, stepped up, the narrative actually changed so crazy how Kane brought England to the final, but he ghosted the whole tournament as well. People don't mention about how he ghosted all tournament outside from Ukraine and Denmark.
Yeah, and that's it. Like I said, people don't like it. Like, it's a typical Sarcasm City TV. If you're new, like, debates will happen, and it is. And to Adam, just to end on this note, yeah, it's both of these reasons. Flawless is the reason. Is it not carrying Spurs to a trophy a big reason you don't want him, or is it more if you want a quick athletic striker? Both. These are 2 major question marks I have. Profile, man. We've seen quality players who aren't pace and power struggle over here. Joao Felix, again, I always use him as an example. We see him at Chelsea. He is super talented. He's won just overall as a player. If we just list his attributes, fire. He's got 3 goals in 18 matches. He looks like Timo Werner. They're Timo Werner's numbers. If Timo Werner had them numbers and we slaughtered him, Joao Felix has come over here and looks the same and we don't slaughter him because he's technically better. Man's got 3 goals in 18 matches. Man has the same amount of assists as red cards.
I mean, you say Werner. Werner delivered a Champions League. Kane hasn't. So let's not do that.
This guy's such a troll. But you understand my point, people. Man. This guy's such a troll, man. This guy's
so is Rian Bruce, though. But where is
this guy is such a
and where's Keynes?
All right, but we'll
holding down H.
Well, switch. Actually, Mohammed said this. Eleanor, who do you prefer as Spurs manager?
Well, my
Ryan
manager's
Mason then.
Chelsea, so
Yeah. So, all right, we'll say realistically because, you know, your guy's at Chelsea. He's gone to the bridge.
no, like, okay. In all seriousness, who I preferred was Nagelsmann, obviously, and then my actual father went to Chelsea, so they're off. They're off the
He's
card.
magic.
You're lucky you said he's magic, because if you said he's Chelsea,
I mean, I don't think he's going to win anything major with us, but if he does,
doesn't matter. Him stepping in your club, it's done. It's done.
Wait. Can I actually ask a question? Because I haven't spoken to a Spurs fan. Like,
Question, but yeah,
yeah. Oh, you know what question I'm about to ask. So
probably.
right. Yeah. So like, even I had to find a way to word this question properly. Why would you hate him more if he joined Chelsea? I know we're rivals. I know we're rivals in that, yeah. But for what he did for the club, in my eyes, he'll still be a legend for Spurs.
No one's a legend if they go to Chelsea or Arsenal after being with us.
First.
Glenn Hoddle's different. Before anyone comes at me,
I kind of hear it though. But when Czech went to Arsenal, he was still a legend in my eyes.
yeah, but you
And
lot.
that's a direct rival.
I think it's different if you are Chelsea and you're giving players to Arsenal, because you know Arsenal's your retirement home. It just always is. Everyone knows this. You give your players once they're dead, they go to Arsenal. That's just, and you don't have that relationship and you're fine with it. The difference is with it being Chelsea is, you know, your players or your manager is going to do better at Chelsea with the money and etc., especially if they're good. So it's different, because when you're giving a finished player over to a rival when you know they're pretty much on their way out, or like you've done everything you needed to do with them and you're giving them over, that's different. When it's like unfinished business and you're giving them to a better club, and while I say better, I'm going to say better run, because I don't want any Spurs fans to get upset. Better run club, you know they're going to do well. So it's like, it depends on context.
You see, I don't think we're better run than actually maybe than Spurs, but we're not better run.
That are because of the money you spend and the way you back managers. In terms of, in general, you're the biggest club in London. So, and I know that might upset people, but it's true. Like, it's not Arsenal, is it? They don't have any European.
You're cooking.
But why would it? As long as he doesn't win anything, does it matter?
Yeah, but it does, because we know. Firstly, as I've said before, he said that Chelsea is our biggest rivals. He said that it's a bigger rivalry than Arsenal. He said that, not that I agree with.
Hey, men are trash, man.
Jose said the same thing.
That's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts.
Wait, I didn't say that. What? I didn't say that.
No. What? No. What Prime is saying is facts. I include myself in that. Yeah. We are. Oh, he said Jez. No, he said Matt.
No, you said Jez. You said
no. I said men are trash. I said men are trash. But yeah,
you said Jez.
Nah, did I say? Well, you're included.
Yeah, you said Jez. You said Jez.
I thought you said men are trash. But yeah, men are trash. But go on, carry on.
I mean, Jez is trash as well, but yeah.
Because Jez, you're a man, so yeah, you're included, mate. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean just Jez.
What does that mean?
What's that mean? Don't tell me you identify as a chair or some shit.
I just think.
I identify as like I identify as him, like him for the end up.
Him.
Did I say Jez? All right, my bad, Jez.
You didn't say, bro.
You said Jez.
You know what? Hold that, fam.
I didn't hear Jez, to be fair.
I said men.
Yeah,
I know you said man. I know you said man.
You are trash though, Jez. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not trash. I'm him. I'm him.
You're
him hype. You see it, we're copy.
And y'all niggas stink, man.
He wasn't. Ed, let me give you some straight up facts. Kane was never an Arsenal fan. He got scouted by a club as a young boy that was trying to get into football. They were the first club to scout him. His family have always been Tottenham fans, very open about that. And the only reason why he wore that shirt when he was obviously celebrating, them winning, was because he was scouted by them at the time. So they're very, very clear that they've been Tottenham fans. They're not going to hold it against him as a child that got scouted by a club and then managed to majorly fuck it up and then go to 4 other clubs, including us, in terms of he was at ours, and then we gave him to 4 other failed loans, and then he came back, we gave him a chance, and he stayed. As a boyhood Spurs fan, obviously there was more leniency there. So just, there's your facts. You can Google it if you don't believe me, but it's all facts. Everyone carry.
There you go, Ed. There you go. Let me see what questions I've missed. I know there's a few.
Because it's not true.
Oh. Let's see what's going on. Actually, that being said, we'll switch to Chelsea Prime, because I've not actually heard your thoughts on this. And Victor, you can, and both of you, yeah, facts. Both of you two can answer this. What are your expectations for next season?
Top six.
Challenge for top 4.
Challenge for top 4. Okay.
Finish between 5th to 7th.
Okay.
I want to win a trophy, but with Poch, it's a bit long to go on a cup run.
This is what pisses me off.
Can I finish?
Don't buy Don't let man
let him cook with that. That's not cooking.
He's really man. Don't get fooled, man. This guy buying his profile picture. Don't get reeled in by him. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, Brian is smiling behind the camera right now.
Also,
yeah, Brian's trying it.
We can hear him smiling.
He's doing it on purpose.
Yes. Go on, Prime.
Are you guys done? You done?
Yeah, go on. Are you
No, we're not done. No, we can go around. We're not done.
Go on, Prime. So top 5. So basically, challenge for top 4, 5 to 7. Win a Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
Realistically, I want to win a trophy, but I don't think. I mean, I could say the Poch thing, but I also don't think we have the squad to do that. Realistically, to win.
I agree with him on that one. Like they have guys like Mudrick.
No, not necessarily. I don't necessarily know what. I don't necessarily know what we look like next season, and plus, I'm not the believer of trusting in young players completely. But whatever. I don't know how good these players. are. Establish your style of play, and regardless of what the fans think, continue to bed in what you're trying to do. Don't do what Potter did, where results go bad and then you act like a pussy and change things. But it is what it is.
Diamond.
Poch, I don't know. Poch will be here for a few seasons anyway. He'll build up a team that's good enough to win. Then he'll get sacked. That's all I'm really looking at with it. I don't think he's good enough to win anything.
This is why he doesn't. You do not deserve Poch.
That's fine, Eleanor. That's fine, but he has to prove things to me. I don't think he's good enough to win the major trophies inevitably.
Oh, but all of a sudden, Jose in 2023 is good enough.
But I don't want him at this club either. Not right now.
As that you've actually said something about, like, honestly, this is what annoys me.
Wait, hold on. I'm not trying to debate anything. I'm not trolling. I don't think he's good enough to inevitably win major trophies with. But I don't want him out. He's here now. I don't know why he's here. It's cool. Build up this young squad for a few years and see where we are then.
What are you saying, Victor?
Yeah, he's won a major trophy, by the way. He's won the Coupe de France. So that's a major trophy of mine.
Cool.
Facts. But go on.
Cool. I still don't rate it. But
what are you saying, Victor? What are you looking at for Chelsea?
Send him an
Yeah, you can't. No, he's with the Ops, man. You have to remember he's wearing the Ops. He's wearing the Ops flags, man. You know what I'm saying? He's wearing the blue badge. With the dragon. What is on the Chelsea logo? Is it a dragon or whatever it is?
It's a lion.
Or lion. Yeah, the blue
What did you call it? What did you say, James?
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
Flawless.
I said whatever is on the badge it's a bitch, man. I don't know what.
Flawless. If you knew your animals, you would know the lion are serial winners. So.
I'm sorry, I've never seen it. I watch a lot of David Attenborough. I think it's fire. I've never seen a blue lion in it. That's what it is. So that's why I was confused. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Most lions I've never seen a blue one. You know what I'm saying? And
all I'm saying is here.
Wait, you've never seen a blue lion lift the Champions League?
No, I've never seen a blue lion like in general because you said if I knew my animals.
You've never seen one lift the Champions League? I have.
Nah, I didn't watch.
No, I can't. All I'm saying is here. Once you pull up to the stadium, you gotta cuss him out. I don't know. I know.
You don't understand. He's the Ops. When you're going at Chelsea, you're not going at him.
You gotta say stuff like, "Yo, you were faking the hood. You a bitch. You a bitch. You a butler." I'll say like, call
Eleanor, you have to call him Bottletino. Call him Bottletino.
Like when we play Chelsea, I would be screaming. When we play.
start the
Maybe play
biggest
Chelsea. I
agenda.
can't see a loser. I'll be honest.
I
Balls,
bet you,
you
I
know.
will start the biggest agenda just to cope. Like,
You will.
so
You will.
I treat
You're
I
gonna
was
have
like,
to.
your
You're gonna have
boyfriend cheats on you, and then you start hating him and you start cussing him all these things, and
Mhm.
you know you're heartbroken in it. You start calling him all these things. You know, you were shit. You were this. You were that.
It's butters anyways.
That's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
what
Just
I feel
one.
like.
Just
I
one.
feel like a heartbroken ex-girlfriend.
That's what you got.
And you know what, Eleanor? I'll agree with you. I'm not going to defend Poch. I'll agree with
No,
you.
but at the moment I'm hurt. When I get to that angry stage, that's when you know we don't know what I could say about Poch because I'll be too angry. So at the moment
Hey,
I'm
let's
hurt,
help, man.
not angry.
It's all good, Victor. What you saying?
Yeah, for me, a style of play is very important. Like a better style of play. Whatever the fan base says, like Prime is right, don't change it when it starts going like not your way. Because I know it takes a while for Poch's system to properly embed. And plus this player is not fit to do the pressing that he wants. So it will take him a while. And preseason's only 6 weeks. People forget preseason's only 6 weeks. It will take him longer than that to embed his way. And for this player
Yes, but
to
give him
have that
time. He will give him
Yeah.
time, patience, and he will. You're not going to expect him to all of a sudden be able to be this like full front football, getting all the results, you know, fighting for the title, blah blah. Where you are now to next.
Eleanor, I'm giving him 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Listen, me and Prime give him time, but the fan base, who don't already like him because he manages Spurs would not give him that time. That's the problem. Well, this
No,
is just
but you know how fickle fans are. If we beat Spurs, everyone will back up.
yeah, but for how long?
This is
That's down to him.
Go to Chelsea. Look at the way they're talking. This is actually disgraceful. Disgraceful.
You still here defending your ex, Eleanor? Let it go, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know, man. Like,
That's what you're gonna use that analogy. You gotta let it go, man. He's your ex for a reason. You gotta let it go. And not only is an ex, he went and got with the girl, your arch nemesis as well. He went and got with the girl you hated since birth.
I'm saying, like, bro, like he was faking the hood. He was faking the hood.
You gotta let it go. I'm saying you can't defend your ex.
He's bathing with the ops. You're gonna defend him.
You know what? No, let me tell you, if he somehow fucks this up, 'cause he hasn't signed yet, but realistically, if he actually has fucked you lot over, I could never love the man more.
Eleanor, that's fine. We'll just get a better manager than him.
I don't care as long as it's not.
Who's a better manager?
I actually don't care.
I personally want Nagelsmann, but you know.
Yeah, he rejected you though, so you can't get him anymore.
He rejects everyone. He's a homeless man rejecting homes. Idiot.
I fucking hate Todd for sacking Potter.
Pardon me.
Why do you hate him?
Oh yeah, Eleanor wanted Potter. He's a bum.
No. When he was at Brighton, he definitely looked very different to what his Chelsea stint was. I think he went to Chelsea too early. I think if he came to Tottenham then and built his team up and carried on the sort of Brighton model at a bigger club, it would have worked very different. The way it went, he went to the big club too early, just like Nagelsmann did with Bayern, went to the end game club too early. That's what Potter did.
We gave Potter a lot of time. It was
too
and then no, I know, but that's my thing with Poch. We will give him time. We'll give Potter a lot.
The philosophy is different. I think the philosophy is different. And I think if he came to Tottenham, there's not only time, but there's more leniency. There's a difference there.
Yeah, that's true.
Of giving him time, but you didn't give him the leniency. So I think Potter, at that point in his career, he did too much of a big step, leaping to Chelsea. It was too much like naming headlights, going to the big club, just like Nagelsmann. They both ended up sacked. And Nagelsmann deserved it. Nagelsmann did deserve it. But in the end, you still went to your end game club too early. I think if they came to Tottenham previously, any of them, I'm talking about mainly Potter here because that's what we're talking about, it would have worked out much better. I genuinely still believe that. I'm not saying he was a great or
Eleanor,
I just think it was.
How long do I have to pretend to love Poch for him to win me a Premier League? Because that's all I care about. Let's be real.
You have to love him forever.
How long do I have to do this fake? He's Chelsea, you know. How long do I have to do that?
Firstly, don't you dare. Too early.
I don't lie. That chant is fire though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but flawless.
Not even Chelsea, you know. I'm just saying that he's like when Poch was linked with us.
It's magic.
A lot of the reason, some of the reason why I was like, I like Poch as a manager, and I thought he would have been a good fit anyway. I was like, yo, that ringing out across outside the stadium sounds cold. That is magic, you know.
No, but flawless. I'm asking because
Chelsea is too
if
much.
he bottles a semi-final, I'll say Pochettino. So I just want to know how long.
Pochettino is-
Yeah, I will join you on that. I will join you.
What I'll say is, in terms of with Chelsea,
But when Tuchel lost the FA Cup final to Leicester, I won't say no.
Yeah, and he won the Champions League the week later, man. Plus, Reece James
Okay.
was flat for that final. Don't think I didn't know.
Three Wembley final losses in a row. But he's
And
Well,
Reece
you know-
James is overweight for that final.
Jokers.
Don't do
Hey,
that.
chat, continue to bump, get your questions in. Sorry, before we close out, just keep it Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur
I do.
related. Yeah, go on, Alan.
No, I do think it's a good fit for Poch at Chelsea, though. I'll say why. They've got good players. I think he's at a point in his career where he did the PSG thing. He's been to that sort of situation. I think he is ready to come back to the Prem. Taking my love of this out of it, I'm talking totally as a football fan. I think they've got a good team. Obviously, they can't spend too much money now with FFP and all of that. So they've got the team. All they need is a coach that will get them playing. And what I will guarantee is, I can't guarantee he'll bring you trophies, but I'll guarantee he'll get you playing to a point where you are on the brink. I do believe he is the man to bring you trophies, but I can't say it as a guarantee. What I think is a guarantee is that he will get you playing. And I think
that's all I want.
So he's not gonna get me a Premier.
No, I'm not
I don't think
denying.
he gets you a Prem.
I don't think to do. You know what it is here? I think what Poch will be for them is.
But I
it's
don't.
gonna be.
Does
it's gonna be
any
too- yeah, go on.
any manager nowadays get Chelsea a Prem with City there?
No, there's no manager there. He could get Pep Guardiola. He's not bringing them in Premier League.
So
No
I
one's
think
bringing you a Premier League.
There's one manager, but he's gone. So
Go on, who's the manager that can bring you a Premier League in the first season?
not in the first season. I mean, if we belted them.
You talking about
if we built with Tuchel, but we did. So
In my opinion, the Poch Chelsea, I think if you're not even going to be the guy that's going to win Chelsea the big trophies, I think he's going to be the guy that will start this Bowley era actually properly, where you're going to have a team, and then the next manager takes over that has the ability to take them over to win the big things. With obviously then with that manager wanting maybe some better players in that, but he can be the one that builds the foundation and maybe win some along the lines.
Where you are,
Chelsea, I know, guys. I'm not disagreeing with you. I know all of this. I just asked you the question to trigger you. I know all of this. People don't attack me.
Don't fall for the bait.
I've already said about Poch that I don't want him out for these few years. Build the squad. It's fine.
Eleanor, he's your ex. He's your ex who's now dating your. You know what I'm saying, your rival from the girl you've been beefing from birth up until this point.
And Flawless, you know what?
You gotta stop defending him.
And you know what's mad about it? We're not even gonna wife him. He's gonna
they
be
don't
gone
even
in a
care.
few
They don't
years.
even want to marry her 100%. That's it.
Use him.
Yeah. But he wants to be used, so pause. But yeah, Flawless Casado.
That's crazy.
That was a wild pause. That it was in.
You can't say.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
That's why I said pause in there. Yeah, pause. Strong pause. Flawless Casado to United. What you think? We'll have to fend off some London teams. Hope no Basuma. I think we'll get linked with him. Does he fit what we're trying to do? Yes. Would I take him at Manchester United? Absolutely, but we won't be the only team in for him. Obviously, he's been linked with us. He's been linked with Liverpool. He's been linked with Chelsea. Arsenal tried to sign him just gone in January as well.
I'm gonna go.
All right, no stress, Eleanor. Love every time. Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I will call you, and you lot will see me.
Yeah.
I do pop in, but Flawless is like me back on. So
I'll be
of course you can jump back on. You already know whenever you're people. When you see, let me just clarify this because I had to clarify this when Eleanor was in the chat. When you don't see Eleanor here, it's because she's not here. I don't say no, you're not joining her or anything like that.
Are we sure?
Yes, she just said no. See, because the dickheads like Jazz, you just had to say
maybe you quoted in the DMs, maybe you sent you the script.
No, I did not.
Sent the script.
If I was gonna ban anyone, it'd be you, Jazz. You know what I'm saying? How about
Ryan first?
Ryan
first.
Right.
Yeah. Facts. But Ellen, I love you. I'll catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Bye.
All right. See you. Bless. But yeah, with the
Fuck you, Jazz.
Yeah, with the Casado deal, absolutely, 110% go and sign him. But depends on the price point. Again, there's other players you can go and get. I think Lavia would probably be half the price, so I prefer that. But I'm not turning up my nose at Casado to Manchester United because does he improve us? Yes. Does he improve the squad? Yes. Does he improve the first 11? Absolutely. So yeah, say that again. Oh yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah. Just
Timber.
ignore him, innit? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah. You just gotta ignore, man. You know what I'm saying? Man's a whole fool. For real, for real. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
it's a
man. Said, are
whole.
you sure,
That's what it
Warrior
is.
Jay? You know what I'm saying? Jacob says, big up, flawless. Big up to you as well. I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you might want to add before we close out? Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want
I've got,
to.
I've
Oh,
got,
you go first. You go first, man. You plan?
I've got a question.
Go on.
In terms of trajectory, who do you think has the better trajectory, Chelsea or Man United? Does it depend on if you guys get rid of the Glazers?
In my opinion, it does. Like, it depends on
It
the
depends on
Glazers.
who's the owner for next season.
Yeah, depends on the owners next season. Because right now it's looking like with Ten Hag, if they properly build well with Ten Hag, because he's shown what he can do with scrubs, and if he actually gets elite players,
Yeah, true. I'm not saying
he could actually build.
You're right.
I'm
you're
not
right.
saying by
It's
the
just
way
funny
we'll
the way
finish
you said
above
it.
you, because I don't think we will finish above you, by the way. But I'm just saying in terms of trajectory.
No, we won't. We're not. We're not.
So
I think we finish above Spurs though.
Yeah, of course, we know good.
Yeah, or you also have Ryan Mason next season. That's the problem.
I mean, it depends, but
anyway, Jez, what was your question? And don't say that word again.
Huh? What talking about?
What was your question?
Anyways,
Just gonna play
Yeah,
dog.
go on, Jess. Last question, and we're gonna close out. Go on.
No, it's not even a question, but because you said obviously anything to say. Obviously, Fabrizio tweeted, I think last night, that we're gonna have a director of managers sorted in the next few days. I predict it's not gonna be the next few days. I think it's gonna be after the season, and I don't think we're gonna get one in before the season ends, which is a big problem, very big problem, because everybody's already planning for the summer. Well, we are planning for who even the manager. So yeah, that's the only thing I want to mention as well.
Oh, Kimmich is available. He's being linked with Arsenal and also Real
It's
Madrid.
available.
Nah, apparently there's a
Kimmich.
report saying that apparently he's unhappy at Bayern Munich and apparently looking for a new challenge, which kind of makes sense because he's been there.
Hey, Manchester United, all over that. What we doing?
I don't know about the credibility of that source because he's been linked to Arsenal and Barcelona now. But
no, but he was linked to Real Madrid.
It's a Ryan source. I got you.
No. It might be an actual because he was linked to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There hasn't been anything credible coming out about that he's actually unhappy and wants to leave. It's just only rumors, so I can't really confirm this. But actually, let's say for example, none of the Bayern sources that I've seen that are credible has mentioned that already. Maybe later on, but
how did Flawless go from celebrating to calling it a Ryan source? Wow.
Nah, because when I first heard it, I thought it was from somewhere reliable source, but we don't know how reliable it is. So if it's a Don Hassam source, you know what I'm saying? Could be a Bellingham to Liverpool thing. You know what I'm saying?
But let's say hypothetically, it's true.
But yeah, we could talk about it hypothetically, like United, because if he wants to leave, it's kind of like, yo, you go and get a player of that caliber.
Just like, I think if he's a world, I think every club in the world.
I've been talking for the longest about upgrading Eriksen. That's Kimmich.
Kimmich, Casemiro, Bruno. That's cold.
That's cold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not that last part. Go get me mad.
What's the last part?
Flawless. Even with Bruno there, he can't fuck out. Bruno's not.
All right. Bruno gonna say, "Hold my beer." You know what I'm saying? Hold my shin pads.
Surely Bruno can't fumble like a world class two midfielders behind him. Surely
he can't fumble it, but we'd have to improve the 9, and we'd have to improve the person in front of him. Like the striker would have to be someone of a certain quality. I've already said for Manchester United to go win and compete for the major trophies, he has to be our worst midfielder. I said we wouldn't win a trophy with him as our best midfielder. And lo and behold, we get a better midfielder than him when we win a trophy. We don't want to have these conversations. Lo and behold, he's not, you know what I'm saying, top 5 performers this season and we've won a trophy and in another final.
You get a better midfielder than who?
Bruno.
Did he not play the final?
Yeah, but the point I'm making is he can't be your best midfielder when you go and win major trophies.
Oh, the whole mount thing.
Like you can't like you need top class. Like you man mentioned that he can't fumble that. That goes to show the level where you lot are at. Because you lot, if he's a serious, you lot didn't just say that about Kimmich. You didn't say, yo, surely Kimmich can't fumble such and such. You said Kimmich, Casemiro, Bruno went. Yeah, Bruno's number 3.
No, I
Instantly,
just.
straight away.
I mean,
Yeah, go on.
when you read out the lineup, you go from back to front. So obviously Bruno will be named third. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then if you go sign a top operator, then he's then 4. Rashford is already bad. He's then what, 6? And then it depends on what Anthony does. So then you're the worst player in our midfield and attack. And you're not better than Martinez or Varane. If we sign 2 new fullbacks, which we need to, and goalkeeper, you're the worst team. You're the worst player in the 11. How is that? Like everyone's gangster
Who's
till
your
real
captain
gangsters
next
walk in the room. I don't
Who's
know.
your captain next season?
People have mentioned Martinez. I would go with Martinez personally. That's just me.
Casemiro.
But I think Casemiro would be second choice. But I think people put too much credit and too much stock on captaincy. Like I've said before, if you're a captain, you're gonna display those captain-like attributes regardless. You don't need the armband. You're not gonna give Martinez the armband and you see him doing more stuff. He's already captain. That's why people say it. Same with Casemiro.
You're right. The only reason I ask is because your vice captain now is Bruno.
Yeah, he is. I actually don't mind him as the captain. That's the thing. I'm not really fussed. Because people made that point. No, you. But people made that point, Maguire's not going to get dropped. He's the captain. Now he's our 5th choice centre-back.
The Bruno shuffle when you win the Prem. Okay.
The what shuffle? Sorry? What was
the Bruno
that?
Shuffle.
Sorry, mate?
The Bruno shuffle.
Okay. This guy got jokes. Hardy, ha, ha. So fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? Look at him, this guy.
I laugh.
Yeah, I know you laugh.
Yeah, we can hear it.
We can hear you. I can hear you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm laughed. Yeah.
Nigga, you think he's slick?
Yeah, guy thinks he's slick.
This
I know you prime,
Italian in him.
Yeah, prime always.
I'm not Italian. What are you doing?
But all right, we're going to close out. Anyways, we're going to close out the show. Love to everyone that's locked in. You normally get this stuff. This show you normally get on Saturday nights, people. But sometimes if I have to do something Saturday, I'll move it to Friday. But it's now a weekly show, the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show. Of course, the regulars on the show are myself. You've got Jez representing Spurs, Surfer representing Chelsea, but then you may get the other Chelsea representatives join, like you got Victor on Prime tonight. You had Eleanor jump on as one of the Spurs representatives, just in typical Sarcasm the City TV fashion. But you lot continue to support, and the way you support these Man United crossovers is great. So whether it's this show, Manchester United Chelsea Spurs, or the Manchester United Arsenal show, or the Manchester United Liverpool show, and I am gonna pattern a Manchester United, Manchester City show, people. Thank God I haven't patterned it before. I'm glad I haven't been able to find that one. I was sitting down with someone here for an hour and a half telling me about fucking treble would drive me insane. So yeah, love to everyone who has locked in. You know what I'm saying? That's the only benefit for them having 12 fans. So yeah, man, again, love to everyone that's locked in. Big up. Head over to the Twitch, people, because that's where I'll be heading over as well. They're currently live. Ahmed's over there. Alam's over there.
Let's talk City, man.
Austin Celtics, Miami Heat, absolutely not in it. You and can talk to your manny gal about City. But love to everyone that has locked in. And this has been the Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. Man United, ballers at the bridge, talking that Tottenham talk. Big up. And that, Ed, I'm going to sort out the show, 100%. It's just a question of how. But yeah, head over to the Twitch, big up. And then what have we got coming up? Tomorrow, we're back here. Well, today, 3 p.m. So 2:40 p.m., 20 minutes before kickoff for the Bournemouth versus Manchester United game. Then on the Twitch, you will get Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. Then that later that night, you will get LA Lakers, Denver Nuggets game 3. Lakers 2-0 down, heading back to LA. So Nuggets looking to make it 3-0. Then Sunday, we will be on the Twitch for Manchester City versus Chelsea. That watch along where Manchester City could potentially win the Premier League or be Premier League champions, and then that same Sunday, on Sunday as well, Sarcasm City Sports Q&A at midnight. We're answering all your sporting questions, but check out the upcoming live stream schedule. Love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the Manchester United Chelsea Tottenham Hotspur show. Big up and see you lot on the Twitch.